On the chair? Okay, go. Let's just go. I'll wait for it to start. Like, I want to see that. Like, after they get...
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and parents. Welcome to GEMS American Academy of Abu Dhabi. My name is Catherine Banner, and I am the secondary school principal here at GAA. And I'm delighted to have you here this evening as we celebrate the class of 2017. So if you would, please join me in welcoming our GAA teachers. And now, I would ask you to please stand as we welcome the young ladies and gentlemen who have all come together to celebrate tonight. Our third graduating class and second IB graduating cohort. May I present the class of 2017. For the playing of the national anthems of the United Arab Emirates, to be followed immediately by the playing of the national anthem of the United States of America. Islamic teachers, Mr. Muhammad Gofran Zamrik, to read from the Holy Quran. I remind you that it is considered disrespectful to applaud at the end of the reading.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة. أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. سبحان الله عما يشركون. والله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Mr. Zamrik Gofran, for such a beautiful recitation. You may be seated. So interestingly, my address this evening is to these guys. And so it's a little awkward speaking to you when I'm really speaking to them. So forgive me when I turn to talk with them. Class of 2017, you have finally made it. You have finally arrived, and today is your day. Today it is all about you. But I want you to take pause for a moment, and I want you to look around the room. I want you to look at all of the people that are here. And I want you to remember what all of these people have done to help you reach this milestone. Parents, I especially want to recognize your hard work and support. You have partnered with us, you have believed in us, you have trusted us to do our best work for your children. So please, soak in this moment and recognize the great work that you have done as parents. Graduates, it's also important for you to recognize that you didn't wind up sitting on this seat here tonight by accident or by chance. Rather, you wound up sitting here tonight by design. You received an education that has been meaningful, that has been guided by these incredible educators sitting up top. You've made lifelong friends. You have explored and experienced and enjoyed the many things GAA has to offer. And I hope you have literally had the time of your lives as you have meandered through this design we have created just for you. I would like to note some components of this design that have contributed mightily to the young men and women you are becoming, and I believe will resonate with each of you. You have been part of an educational experience that values and celebrates cultural diversity, and high academic standards. You have been part of a program that values kindness and integrity and that values students being able to find their own path. As a result, you guys have become very adept at a lot of things. You can communicate, create, debate, sometimes better than you can imagine, parents. You can innovate and collaborate. I have seen you firsthand debating in Socratic seminars in Mr. Van Pelt's English class, taking risks in Mr. Lyons' physics lab. I have seen you creating amazing pieces of art in Mr. Eden's art class. I've seen you innovating and collaborating and communicating in history, math, and theater classes. You have become well equipped to think critically and solve complex problems. 21st century skills, we call that in education. And believe me, you will need these skills almost as much, if not more, than the content that you have learned as you navigate our complex and ever-changing world. 2 days ago at senior brunch, you heard Mr. Holohan talk about the struggle. He assured you that at some point in your lives, you would struggle and fail. It is part of the human experience, and we all know that in this room. So another crucial part of our design was to provide you with all of the tools and abilities and skills you will need not just to survive, but to thrive and to pick yourselves up when the struggle gets real, and it will, and to consider what you might do differently to succeed the next time. And I believe you are leaving us hopefully understanding the value in the struggle and certainly well prepared to meet it head on. But perhaps the hallmark of our design for you is that you have learned to live in a culture of kindness. It has been clear to me as I have watched you, even when you didn't know I was watching you. I have seen you be loving, accepting, tolerant, empathetic, generous, and kind to one another. And I feel really good that you all are going to reach the ultimate goal that we have had for you all along. And that is to see you leave us and go confidently into the world as truly good human beings whose dreams will be realized. As the secondary principal, I sometimes have a balcony view of our school, the community, and how all of the various parts of this design fit together. But it is the many individuals who come together here each day that love and care for you that truly create the synergy of our design and who have had a tremendous impact on bringing you to this very moment. I'd like to recognize and once again thank our GAA faculty, who I call affectionately our ultimate design team, for all they have done to prepare and inspire our students. I'd like to recognize our illustrious IB coordinator, Mr. Patty Lyons, who has brought strength and inspiration to our program, and I know you are immensely proud this evening. I'd like to recognize Ms. Katie Lashir and Mr. Phil Abraham, our extraordinary counselors who have guided, supported, and encouraged each of you to find your path beyond high school. Please join me in also recognizing and thanking the most amazing secondary leadership duo ever, Mr. Derek Lee and Mr. Peter Thorpe. And finally, our dynamic and fearless leader, Kathy Miner, who encourages us all to be better and stronger as we strive for excellence each and every day. In closing, I would like to acknowledge that at GAA, ours is a higher purpose. We have a very important role here in Abu Dhabi to contribute to the vision of His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, peace be upon him, who wrote, "No matter how many buildings, foundations, schools, and hospitals we build, or how many bridges we raise, these are all material entities. The real spirit behind the progress is the human spirit, the able man with his intellect and capabilities. A country's greatest investment lies in building governments, in building generations of educated and knowledgeable youth. This is a role we take very seriously, as our graduates will continue in the future of the UAE and beyond and across the globe as educated citizens. So now, graduates, I ask you, now that you have a treasure of skills, abilities, and qualities, what will be the blueprint of your life? What will you do to make a difference in the world? This is your challenge, and it begins today. It begins right now as you create a future designed by you. Shukran and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Banner. Each year, the student with the highest GPA in the graduating class is recognized as the class valedictorian. This year, 2 top students at GAA had identical GPAs. Thus, we are privileged to have co-valedictorians, both of whom will address you this evening. With our first co-valedictorian address, please join me in welcoming Kaylee Herman.
We have finally made it. Having struggled through the IB diploma, IB certificates, or the school's high school diploma, we can officially say that we've completed this chapter in our lives, and now we are ready to move on to design our lives in whichever way we choose. And that is a reason to celebrate. Some of us can now claim that we know how free radical, photochemical, homolytic fission substitution reactions work, how to find the equations for isoclines of homogeneous differential equations, and the intricacies of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. For this, I want to thank our teachers, on behalf of myself and my fellow graduates, who have spent months of their time dedicated to leading us on the path to success, and guiding us to do our very best, not only in our finals, but in our life beyond the school building. I especially want to thank you for all the extra that you've taught us, things that are applicable for our future life, things like how to survive a zombie apocalypse should it ever happen, or by providing us with a deeper insight into the world around us. We appreciate your enthusiasm and dedication. I also want to thank Dr. Miner, Mrs. Banner, Mr. Lee, Mr. Thorpe, Mr. Lyons, for providing us with everything that we need to accomplish our goals, and for all the work you've done behind the scenes that have made this year a truly special one. Mr. Abraham, Mr. Shear, we want to thank you for helping us guide us onto a future path, and for bearing with us when we weren't sure of what exactly we wanted to do in our life. We're grateful to all of you, and we'll surely miss you. I think the one thing that everyone can agree on, whether they've spent all 4 years here at James American Academy or only joined sometime later, is that we wouldn't be who we are today if it weren't for our parents. Our parents have helped us grow and mature, the majority of us, into the young men and women we are today. They've been there to support us throughout this, and for this, I want to thank you. Saying this, I want to honor our graduates who have put effort and passion to the activities, beyond the classroom as well as within the classroom, and who have made the senior year a success. Whether they display their determination and perseverance on a sports field and academic activities, or by preparing themselves for the best possible future, the class of 2017 has won numerous awards throughout this year. Highlighting just a few of these, I want to congratulate our graduates for winning numerous sports awards, their study awards at Model United Nations conferences, 4 scholarships to the first choice universities, winning first place in the academic games competition. Though I'm just sorry to say, it still isn't small. Apart from providing a space for individual students to flourish, I find that looking back at the 3 years I've spent studying at GAA, the school has equipped me, and I hope I can speak for the others as well, for the future by building our character and teaching us that we can learn something from everyone, even if that means having an hour-long debate about the definition of knowledge. Going to international school, such as this one, has also taught us that diversity is beneficial, and through that, the importance of accepting the culture, religion, or background. This experience has molded us to become global citizens that have the potential to change the world for the better. Whether the plan is to go to college or university, take a gap year or serve in the military, I believe that every one of you has the potential to shape a future that will not only bring personal success, but also be a blessing to the people around. My favorite quote is by Seth Godin, and it says, "Instead of wondering when your next vacation is, maybe you should set up a life you don't need to escape from." And that is my wish for our fellow graduates, that you may all live the life that you have spent your high school years dreaming about. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee, for your thoughtfulness and wisdom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the head of GAA, Dr. Catherine Meyer.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Halan mikom jamian. If you've had a chance to see, posted throughout the school, we have the GAA mission. And if you've taken a moment to read it, you'll see that our mission is to inspire, to challenge, to care for each student in an inclusive and kind community, and to provide a well-balanced educational experience that celebrates cultural diversity and respects global perspectives. We come to school every day with that design Ms. Banner was speaking about, with that purpose in mind, and we weave lessons throughout the curriculum and create meaningful experiences to that end. With a significant student population, our students represent 94 nationalities and they speak 40 different languages in our school. And we have the perfect opportunity here at GAA to teach our students to think and create and respect and care for each other in order to be well prepared to solve the problems of tomorrow and contribute to a stronger, kinder global community. When Kaylee Herman just spoke on behalf of our graduates, I know that faculty and staff were filled with pride. Without realizing it, she stated the very mission of GAA. This is the reason we get up every day and we do this work. And it's music to our ears and it fills our souls. It's worth repeating her words. This experience has molded us to become global citizens that have the potential to change the world for the better. Every one of you has the potential to shape a future that will not only bring you success, but to be a blessing to the people around you. That's it. That's great. That's what we're all about. Thank you. It's moments like this, and thank you to the students, thank you, Kayla. It's moments like this that we really take stock and we see the impact of our collective intention. We celebrate when students internalize these values and recognize the potential to plot successful course for their own lives, to impact their families, the communities around them, and to serve others. And serving others is how we shape the future. When they understand the importance of respecting others and their cultures and their backgrounds, when they feel gratitude for what they've learned and received from their parents and from their extended families and their teachers and from each other, it's amazing, transformative work, and we're proud to be here. Thank you, graduates, for taking this journey with us. Thank you, parents, for your partnership and your support along the way. I'd like to thank the Abu Dhabi Education Council. They're our partner in fulfilling the quest to contribute to a great nation. ADIC has pledged an unwavering resolve to transform Abu Dhabi into a knowledge-based society and has charted progressive, sustainable plans to carry this out with the Education 2020 plan, launched by the Ministry of Education and the Abu Dhabi Economic Vision of 2030. It's important to understand the larger context of education in Abu Dhabi and how we came to be in this room together this very evening, celebrating our graduates. Under the visionary leadership of His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, peace be upon him, founder and late president of the UAE, public education in Abu Dhabi and in the UAE as a whole experienced rapid transformation through policies, agendas, and frameworks set by the Ministry of Education. ADIC was established by His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the current UAE President and Supreme Commander of the Forces and the ruler of Abu Dhabi, to improve the quality of education according to international standards. The chairman of ADEC is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Council of Abu Dhabi, and Deputy Secretary of the Armed Forces. We would like to acknowledge also the presence of His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Her Highness Sheikh Al Nahyan, and honorable family. Within this framework and the incredible support, GAA has a very important role to play in Abu Dhabi in contributing to that vision, particularly in helping to preserve the UAE culture, the heritage, and the Arabic language. We are honored to do this meaningful work here at GAA, here in Abu Dhabi. The late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, peace be upon him, founding father of the UAE, said, "The education of our people is a great wealth. We are proud of our educated nation. Through knowledge and science, we will open the horizons of a glorious future." Now, let the glorious future begin. Shukran ala husn istimaikum. Thank you.
Good evening. A tradition has been established here at GEMS American Academy, where the senior students of GAA elect a delegate speaker to address them at graduation each year. This year, as well as last year, the students have chosen to elect a teacher, someone who they could rely upon for sound advice, for a good laugh, or just for moral support. Someone who has influenced their lives here at GAA and who has modeled exemplary citizenship and what it means to be invested in part of a community. I would like to now call on our very own Mr. George Van Pelt to address the graduating class.
Families, friends, faculty, graduates. It is my honor to stand before you and address you this evening. But I have a confession to make. I have no idea what to say. No idea. I love this group of young people. What are graduation speeches supposed to be anyway, right? Are they just cliche advice? Follow your heart. You've heard that stuff for years. And if tonight is in any way about becoming an adult, let me be the first to tell you that that isn't even true. Of course, I tried, a number of students asked me to make it funny. I didn't do that. It felt cheap, insincere, it felt iffy. So, one of our counselors, Miss Lashir, has a poster in her office that says, "People won't remember what you said. They'll remember how you made them feel." So what's the point anyway, right? What can I possibly do? So I hope you all feel really good for the next couple of minutes, okay? I hope you feel really good. It's a celebration. I will do my best. I'm gonna get kind of weird with it, but it will be over soon. And at least I know I'm going to begin the right way, because I want to invite you to join me in congratulating once again GAA's class of 2017. Every year, the Oxford English Dictionary adds a new trendy word into the English language. When I graduated from college, the word Google was added to the dictionary as a verb, as in to Google something. That's a word that the students on this stage have grown up with. It's become ubiquitous. Even if you are one of the 3 people alive who use Bing.com, you probably say, oh, let me Google that. This year, the words that were added were post-truth, and alternative facts. This is true, post-truth and alternative facts. When was pre-truth? What is true? Anyway, so I started thinking, what does it mean to graduate from high school, or from anywhere for that matter, in a climate in which truth and facts are up for debate? Does a diploma still mean what it used to? Does an education still mean anything? What purpose does it serve its recipients? What can you be certain of? Anything? So, graduates, everybody, I've compiled a list of facts that you can be absolutely sure of as you leave GAA and move into the next chapters of your lives. Fact number 1. For as long as I know Mr. Caldwell, my name will be English teacher. Thank you, Zayed. That was really nice. Number 2. No matter how you feel right now about your experience here, you will look back on it differently. Tennessee Williams wrote that time is the longest distance between 2 places. Years will afford you the luxury of perspective. You will be able to look back on yourselves and on your experiences in a way that was impossible when you were living it. Be open to that new perspective. Think back fondly on your successes, your relationships, your growth, and forgive your mistakes. The rest of us in this room certainly have. Fact number 3. Every choice is also a sacrifice. We tend to think of choices in the positive sense. Option A is better, so I choose A, I get A. But a choice also implies a negative. I choose A, so I do not get B. You will be faced with difficult decisions, and until Tom works out some quantum physics thing, you cannot be in 2 places at once. Make your choice. Don't succumb to this stress-inducing fear of missing out. It is a waste of time. There is always something better or as good as what you miss. And this sounds simple right now, but it will become increasingly difficult as you grow older. You want to backpack South America? You'll have to rethink having a puppy. You want to move abroad? To some extent, you'll have to sacrifice time with friends and extended family. You want to have kids? You'll have to put up with you. So, choose thoughtfully and don't spend too much time wondering what if. Fact number 4 is brought to you by Miss Sammy. The country code used to call Russia is 007. Rest in peace, Roger Moore. Fact number 5. That's a fact. Number 5. Your reputation is the most valuable thing you have. Your reputation is the most valuable thing you have. After high school, your reputation gets 1 free reset. Do not treat it carelessly. In the most important moments of your life, for the most significant opportunities that will be available to you for jobs, for love, for friends, even for family. Your reputation will carry a weight that we do not often appreciate. Fact number 6, and what is, for me, the purpose of an education. The one thing that you should take away from high school, or just from this speech, which I owe to George Bernard Shaw. If you cannot change your mind, you can't change anything. If you cannot change your mind, you can't change anything. We live at a time when world leaders are criticized for flip-flopping when their stance evolves. We live at a time when leaders in all fields, administrators, coaches, scientists, even teachers, feel pressure to be right and be perfect the first time. But changing your mind is the most courageous thing you can do. It demonstrates both maturity and confidence. It demonstrates that you are emotionally stable enough to acknowledge there are some things you don't know. It means that facts, not fear, are the stuff upon which you base your opinions. If you can't change your mind, you can't change anything. And that is the truth. Thank you very much.
Good evening. So many of us have been at GAA for the past 2 years, and together we grew, we learned, and we've definitely discovered who we want to become one day. I think it's safe to say that GAA has left an imprint on all of our lives, and in return, we would like to leave our mark and our imprint on GAA.
With this in mind, we've decided to present this gift to the school in hopes of starting a new tradition here at GAA for the upcoming classes as well. And a quick interruption, sorry, Ms. Fatu and Mr. Koichi. We want to thank all the teachers throughout our 2 years that have been here, because I think I speak on behalf of the whole class that we really appreciate all of you for everything that you've done for us. But we want to point out 2 teachers in particular, Mr. Karchi and Ms. Fatu, for putting in their extra time and dedication to us that we really, really appreciate. And we want to call you guys up here for a round of applause for...
Wow, this is an impressive gift, you guys. And I will tell you that in my first year here as principal of GAA, you guys have left an imprint. You've left an imprint on my heart, and you've set a standard that's going to be hard to fill in years to come, but it will be the standard. And I thank you kindly for this gift. It's beautiful, and we'll have to find a perfect place to hang it. All right, I would like to have Mr. Patty Lyons, our IB coordinator, please come to the stage to introduce our senior speaker.
Good evening, everyone. I have a very simple job, and basically it's to try and convince you that our senior speaker was not chosen because he's first in the alphabet and nearest to the podium. Right? He absolutely wasn't, because this is a great example of the kind of student that we want GAA to be producing. Somebody who is comfortable in their own skin, somebody who is comfortable with their own identity as an American, as an Arab, right? As the top student in the computer science class and the top student in the history class. Okay, this is somebody who is an all-round student. And when you talk about an all-round student, nothing really exemplifies that as much as the fact that he's not only the co-valedictorian, the joint top with Katie there, right, as a student in terms of his GPA, but also is the person that this bunch of wonderful people who really put me through it, this bunch of wonderful people voted to represent them. So I would like to introduce Mohammed Abdul Montagani.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, staff and parents, and of course, my fellow graduates. My name is Mohammed, as some of you guys just heard, and I'm here today to reflect upon the past, talk about the future, and hopefully reduce you all to tears. I'd like to start by saying it is an absolute enormous honor to be chosen by my peers to speak to you here today. And on that, there is a universal truth that we all have to face, whether we want to or not. Everything eventually ends. And as much as I've looked forward to this day for as long as I remember, I've always disliked endings. Whether it's the last day of summer, the end of a good movie, TV series, parting ways with a close friend, the endings are inevitable. Fall kicks in, the last episode comes, you say goodbye. And today is one of those days for us. Today, we say goodbye to everything that was familiar and everything that was comfortable. We say go back to those uniforms, those 65% cotton, 35% polyester, shirts that were pre-washed in the tears of procrastination, and EEs, IAs, IBTOK, and pretty much every other 2- and 3-letter acronym that we all dreaded. As much as we hated them, they gave us all a sense of unity. And even though we threw out those extremely fashionable uniforms the second we were done with them, it was in those uniforms I learned English, math, some physics. But this unity came with a lot of diversity. I remember once in Mrs. Kirkos' Theory of Knowledge, TOK class, about a 15-person class, we were listing all the languages that were spoken in the class, and there were over 25 to 30 languages listed on the board from every corner of the globe. GEMS has allowed me to experience and understand diverse cultures, people's ideas, something that I'm sure we have all treasured in the past. Being born and raised in America, shout out to Seattle, by the way, greatest city on earth. I didn't know how one-sided my perspective of the rest of the world was. For example, before I came here, I thought Switzerland and Sweden were the same country. And all we ever learned about Europe was that it was a whole bunch of countries who needed our help to win their petty wars, which, if you look at history, is pretty accurate. GEMS, on the other hand, introduced me to an astounding variety in terms of cultures and life experiences. We have all become a direct result of this diversity, wiser and more open-minded. I personally have had the opportunity to make the acquaintance of some very interesting people here today, and it is to these people I turn my attention to next. I was told by the administration that if I went after students at a distinguished and honorable event like this, it would be childish, unfitting, and petty, so here I go. First, Salah, Aiden, and Hayden, our very own golf players. For people who possess great athletic talent, it's a shame you wasted it on a fake sport. Arvin, Neve, and Gabriel, we get it, you're liberal. There are a few things people never read. Terms and conditions, the books Mr. Ben Pelt assigned us, and your rants on social media. Yusuf, the new kid who nobody knew the first semester, and the new kid nobody knew the second semester either. I have Elisa, one of the smartest people I know. I would say something about Elisa. This is not really a place to talk. Can we keep it to updates and important questions, please? Alex Caprio calls himself Australian but doesn't touch a ball. Karim, you brighten our day. You brighten our life with your laugh. But Donkey from Shrek Colt, he wants it back. Amen. I'm proud you exist, so I'm not the shortest in the class. Tom, you possess one of the most brilliant minds I've seen. Tom, you were the hardest one to roast. I spent weeks trying to think of something, but I guess you just can't up on God. Zaim and Osama, I'm going to miss my beloved Indian friends. Hadi, Antoine sometimes makes fun of you and calls you fat, but I wouldn't take it too seriously. He also called himself a good football player. Victoria, in my my entire life, I have never met anyone who sleeps or needs sleep as much as you do, and still get higher grades than everyone else. Even your sleep needs sleep sometimes. Jad, you're the only Canadian I know who can get pneumonia in Abu Dhabi's winter. Augustina, sometimes you can be one of the more intimidating people in our grade. That's until a Spanish song comes on, you're completely unrecognizable. Kevin, you're a special type of soccer player. Whenever you kick the ball, your shoe goes further. And lastly, Jose. Jose, honestly can't say anything about you. One of the most legendary, kind-hearted people I know. True honor to be your friend. Now, I'd like to give my final address to my fellow graduates. As I look into the crowd of 70-plus graduates, I feel like I barely know some of you. Something that I regret. I also regret knowing some of you too well. And usually at the end of a speech like this, I say something useful or insightful about the future. But the truth is, I'm completely terrified. I don't have any remarkable talents. I don't like reading. I'm definitely not a hard worker. I put the fun in fundamentally incompetent. And as already established, most of you are much more talented and more qualified to be up here. My final piece of wisdom to you is this. First, never ever be bored. Boredom is the absence of life. It is the absence of passion. Boredom literally wastes your life. Every second of your life that you are bored, you are throwing those seconds away. So please don't ever be bored. Learn to cook, draw something, teach yourself how to play the guitar, but not too much. Second, try and eliminate fear from your life. Fear is just something you create in your mind. Push it away. Power through. Don't be afraid to fail. Every failure and every mistake is just a lesson. Learn from those lessons and emerge from them. And bounce back immediately. Emerge from them stronger, faster, and smarter. Finally, you're 1 out of 7.5 billion people. Don't care what other people say about you. Don't conform to other people's opinions. And through our experiences here at GEMS, we have all shaped each other for the better. Together, we have all become strong, capable individuals. But now we're moving on. And although we're all parting ways, and that might hurt, there's some people who are so much a part of us. They'll be with us no matter what. They are solid ground, our guidance, and the small, clear voices in our heart that will be with us always. I'd like to thank you students for making these past few years unforgettable. Thank you staff and teachers of GEMS for your hard work and commitment. I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my grandfather for coming over. And finally, congratulations to us, class of 2017. Thank you.
I think that's the best advice we've heard tonight in your speech. It was lovely and wonderful, and I know your friends very much enjoyed it. So, we are about to the time that you've all been waiting for. And at this point in time, I was going to thank Ms. Shakarti and Ms. Fatu for the work that they have put into all of our senior events that we've had this year. They've been absolutely amazing. And let's give them So this evening, the Al-Hori family has generously gifted each of our students with a beautiful UAE scarf that you will receive as you walk across the stage this evening. We'd like to thank them for that gift. Now the time is upon us, the moment you have all been waiting for. I would like to invite Dr. Miner, Mr. Lyons, Mr. Lee, and Mr. Thor to the stage for the presentation of the diplomas. It is with great pride that we award these young men and women with their high school diploma this evening.
As Senior Class Advisor, it is my honor to call forward each member of tonight's graduating class to receive his or her diploma.
As each name is called, we will mention the name of the university that a student has chosen. to attend next year in cases where the student has decided.
It's important to know that for a variety of reasons, future plans of some of our graduates are yet to be determined. And at this point, some of them are only sure of what country they'll be going to.
Some of our students will be serving their countries. Others may be taking a gap year to explore their horizons. In all those cases, we will do our best to honor their future plans, as uncertain as they might be at this time. Front row, will you please stand? Mohammed Abdel Motagali.
Alhamdulillah. UAE National Service.
Sabah Al-Hariri, Baylor University.
Rafiq Al-Hassan, University of California.
Mohammed Al-Huri, UAE National Service.
Khalifa Saif Al-Mazrui, UAE National Service.
Zayed Al-Meriki, UAE National Service.
Sheikh Shahbut Al-Nahyan, destined for future greatness.
Sheikh Zayed Al-Nahyan, American University.
Lulua Al-Kubaisi, St. Andrews University.
Sultan Al-Hamili, King's College.
Sanama Al-Husseini, destined for future greatness.
Hadi Al-Jabari, UAE National Service.
Saif Al-Houri, New York University, Abu Dhabi.
Hassan Al-Shamsi, UAE National Service.
Noura Obeid Salam Al-Wali Al-Ali, UAE Humanitarian Project.
Sheriam Arpi, Universidad San Francisco de Quito.
Timur Balin, Drury University. With the first row, please be seated. Second row, would you please stand?
Eva Denisa Barbulescu. Paris Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi.
Anna Boning, Purdue University.
Nora Bukambar, Brunel University.
Mansour Buhaza, Regent's University London and UAE National Service.
Orla Campion, teaching internship.
Alex Caprile, University of Adelaide.
Jad Chehab, University of Guelph.
Armindo Kupumi, University in Angola.
Laura Corsino, Concordia University.
José Ignacio de Valle Bustillo, Universidad Francisco de Vitoria de Madrid.
Laura Devares, St. John's University.
Alison Di Claudio, Mount St. Mary's University.
Haley Donahue, University of Florida.
Abdullah Al-Zain, Richmond American University.
Will the second row please be seated? Third row, please stand. Sabine Evenaar, University of Amsterdam.
Danielle Farnham, Suffolk University.
Adam Fekete, Paris Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi.
Antoine Atcham, Washington and Jefferson College.
Andrew Halliday, Indiana State University and U.S. Air Force.
Baslan Hassan, Arkansas State University.
Mohammed Hassan, New York Institute of Technology.
Yusuf Hassan,
Technical University of Berlin.
Augustina Enriquez Bach, University of Amsterdam.
Kaylee Maria Herman, de Montfort University.
Morgan Hickey, Memorial University of Newfoundland.
Mohammed Ayman bin Mohammed Hisham, destined for future greatness.
Kareem Honeini, University College London.
Victoria Iquieta, New York University of Abu Dhabi. With the third row, please be seated. Fourth row, would you please rise?
Sang-Wan Jung, Parson The New School.
Hayden Geronimo Jimenez, University of Utah.
Changyun Jo, King's College.
Aravind Karta, St. Andrews University.
Garrick Kitty, University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
Marion Kotick, United States Air Force.
Saint Lee, London School of Economics.
Seungmin Lee, University in Korea.
Neve Lyons, Fernando Pessoa University.
Zaim Malik, destined for future greatness.
Daphne Marionette, Regent's University of London.
Gabriel Inez McAllister Carberry, King's College.
Georgia Monsignori, University of Westminster.
Elisa Neves, Bocconi University.
Will the fourth row please be seated? Fifth row, please stand. Aiden Patterson, Hans University of Applied Sciences.
Karim Abdel-Rauf, Richmond University.
Kayla Reiki, Stellenbosch University.
Osama Siddiqui, destined for future greatness.
Fabio Solenthaler, Singapore National Service.
Baden Sudarsan, University of New South Wales.
Ape Tok, University of Maastricht.
Bernice van Deventer, University in South Africa.
Emma Van Cleef, Technical University of Delft.
Wellen van Sande, Katholieke Universiteit Leuven.
Tom Vredenberg, Eindhoven University of Technology.
Shanae Friese, Free University, Amsterdam.
Jay Yu, University of Rochester.
Nico Zuluaga, Brunel University. I would now like to call Elisa Neves to the stage for the turning of the tassel.
One of the traditions associated with graduation ceremonies is known as turning the tassel. Its origin is unknown, and the tradition has been in effect for no more than 40 or 50 years. However, what is known is that it is meant to symbolize transitioning, moving from candidate to graduate. I would invite my classmates to please stand as we take this last step as seniors together. Please take the tassel in your right hand and transfer it to the opposite side from right to left.
Graduates, here's one last step. Honored guests, parents, family, and friends, as the secondary school principal and on behalf of Dr. Miner, JEMS, and the New England Association of Schools and Colleges, and the Council of International Schools, I hereby certify that these students have fulfilled all of the requirements to earn their high school diplomas. Class of 2017, it is my great pleasure to declare you graduates of JEMS American Academy.